Hello, you're welcome to this edition of Hashtag, your social media and technology program. My name is Korede Aziz. Remember when Chocolate City founder Aldumai Kore started trending on social media for claiming that 6 students of the College of Education in Gidanwaya, Kaduna were killed by Fulani herdsmen, including his driver's younger brother. He was called out for using fake pictures and publishing misleading information. Well, Aldu has since apologized for circulating false information and published a retraction on Facebook. His statement reads, "Following the statement by the College of Education Gidanwaya Kaduna and the Kaduna State Government refuting the story that 5 students of the school were killed by Fulani herdsmen en route to the school on the 27th of January 2017, as reported by one Simon Joseph, my personal driver, I decided to further investigate the story to ensure that all the facts of the case and evidence were presented to the authorities. My driver, Simon Joseph, had traveled to the village to attend his younger brother's burial, and on his return on Monday, the 30th of January 2017, I asked him for pictures from the burial, the ID card of his brother, and also pictures of the casket, so I could submit to the authorities, and he told me that he had phone issues, so he could not store pictures on his phone. He told me, however, that his sister had the pictures on her phone, and I proceeded to give him money to go to Ikeja to get the pictures from his sister, so I could have evidence. He didn't return till evening, and when he did, he showed me some blurry picture of a male body which didn't show the face of the victim. At this point, I began to strongly suspect foul play. I again questioned him about the veracity of his story, to which he swore on the Bible that his brother was dead, and even began to shed tears. Not totally satisfied with the story, I made contact with his referees, who helped to engage him, and they didn't seem to know about any death in his family. So on the 2nd of February 2017, I went in company of his referee, one Mr. Dauda, to the Lekki police station for questioning in the absence of his providing any concrete evidence of the death of his brother and fellow students. He clearly didn't suspect anything at this stage. When we got to the station, I lodged my complaints, and when he was questioned, he maintained his story about the deaths were real until the police officers at the station threatened to arrest him. It was only then that he confessed and said he was just trying to collect money from me, that he knew that I was involved in the advocacy on the Southern Kaduna crisis, and he thought that after obtaining money from me for the fake burial expenses, I wouldn't cross-check the veracity of his story, so he was duly arrested." Aldo goes on to say, "I had no reason to doubt him due to the spate of killings in the area, and because in the 8 months he has worked for me, he had never lied to me about anything, or so I thought. Besides, why would any right-thinking human lie about the death of a sibling?" Aldumai Kore then tendered an unreserved and sincere apology to the management of the College of Education Gidanwaya, His Excellency the Governor of Kaduna, and the Kaduna State Government, and also to the people of Southern Kaduna and the Fulani community, also Vanguard newspapers, whose source was his driver, for the false statement which he also publicized, believing same to be true. He went on to plead with his brothers in Kaduna, regardless of ethnic or religious persuasion, that the time to unite and fight for peace is now. He said this unfortunate situation is now actively being used by crisis opportunists, politicians, and some unpatriotic elements to forge their personal or commercial agendas to the detriment of the peace and stability of the state. He noted that his former driver, Simon, had been handed over to the police authorities to help with any further investigations. Finally, he said to all who posted hashtag I stand with Aldu that he appreciates the trust bestowed on him and hope he hasn't lost it. Aldumai Kore was arrested on Friday, February 17 in connection with his false reports, but was later released on bail the following day. At 11:51 a.m. on February 19th, he tweeted, "Yesterday I was released on bail due to the immense support and voice of all the great people in Nigeria. I do not take your support lightly." And then he went on to say, "Even though my agitations were for Southern Kaduna, the whole of Nigeria spoke with one voice and showed that we aren't as divided as they say." Now let's head on to Twitter to take some of the reactions when Aldu was in police custody. M.I. Abaga says, "I voted for freedom of speech. Why is Aldu being denied it? Hashtag free Aldu." And then he copies Amnesty USA, BBC World, Sahara Reporters, and CNN International. Take a look at a few replies to his tweet. At @IAM_Richie says, you voted APC, you are getting change. And at J Breezy says, we're doing this for humanity, and I'll do, and not for your sake, cause sadly you voted for this tyranny. At Musadik Z says, Aldo even got called by the governor to tone down on his many lies, but dude got carried away with his 60,000 followers and chocolatey status. And JJ Omojua replied that saying, I didn't know this until today. That got me weak, really. Matthew thinks the story of Aldo and his free Aldo trend. If he'll be arrested for misinformation, what the hell is Lai still doing walking the streets? I believe he's referring to the Minister of Information there. At Niger Bloke tweets, arrest the Madras Fulani herdsmen, no. Arrest the crumbling economy, no. Arrest Aldo, hell yes. Infantile cowards. Hashtag free Aldo. David Shitu says, constantly, I wonder when democracy will become a thing in my country. Still waiting since 1960. Hashtag free Aldo. Omotola tweets, I grew up in Kaduna, spent 6 years of my formative life there. From 88 to 93, witnessed gruesome killings. I understand Aldo's enthusiasm. And Jackson Uday says, El Rufai must free Aldo and look at Biginat now. You are power drunk today, in 4 years you become sober and the people will await you with stones. At Common Sense NG1 says, because Aldo is popular, we are doing free Aldo. No one remembers the Vanguard reporter that was arrested because he doesn't have money. And Ayo Shoguro points out that El Rufai spread news of GEJ's sniper list, secret army etc. And then he says the APC was upset when DSS picked him. Now they're in power doing same. Change? At Benny Capricorn says Zamechi diverted billions from rivers and is proudly sheltering under Buhari's wings. Audu spoke for Southern Kaduna. He gets arrested. Hashtag free Audu. Big Brother fans have been talking about the romance between single mom Bisola and the allegedly married TTT. When these pictures of TTT and his family started circulating, confusion was thrown in the mix. Because, well, TTT supposedly told Bisola he's single. Many people have bought the idea that TTT is a married man, though. Fassbender tweets, if those pictures about TTT and his family are real, he should come clean to Bisola and Bisola only so she won't catch feelings. Lioness tweets, Bisola steps away for 1 literal second and TTT gives a shout out to his wife and kids. Hashtag BB Then Biggie brings adverts. Conspiracy. Onome says, oh my god, Bisola just asked TTT if he's a single man and he replied, by the grace of God, bruh, TTT has taken the Men Are Scum title. Namso says, I hope TTT continues like this so that Bisola can play the game. She has the potential to win and he will be her downfall. Velvet says, shame on Bisola. TTT was even asking her to stop and she said, why? Additional Dotsun tweets, all of you will be shouting about TTTO and his wife while she's campaigning for him. Plus, he told Bisola he's single, so who is to blame? President Trump dropped a bombshell when he seamlessly mentioned a non-existent incident in Sweden while discussing terror.
You look at what's happening in Germany. You look at what's happening last night in Sweden. Sweden. Who would believe this? Sweden. They took in large numbers. They're having problems like they never thought possible. You look at what's happening in Brussels. You look at what's happening all over the world. Take a look at Nice. Take a look at Paris. We've allowed thousands and thousands of people into our country, and there was no way to vet those people. There was no documentation. There was no nothing. So we're going to keep our country safe.
Later, he went on to explain that his statement as to what's happening in Sweden was in reference to a story that was broadcast on Fox News concerning immigrants and Sweden, but the damage had already been done. At @for_free_Ukraine tweets, Trump watched Fox reports on immigration to Sweden and recalled it later as a major terror attack there. Paranoid cognitive dissonance. Karen Skins tweets, Trump's comments about Sweden are potential early signs of Alzheimer's disease, eerily similar to what my friend who had it went through. DJ Spin says, once again, someone gave him the remote, let him watch TV and couldn't even frame the context of the story for him. Brilliant. Josh Burlingame says, I guess liberals were unaware that rape is up 1,500% in Sweden since the migrant surge. Boy, does Trump have egg on his face. The Swedish embassy in US took time to reply Trump's tweet. They said, we look forward to informing the US administration about Swedish immigration and integration policies. Amazon decided to apologize on behalf of the US, saying, we the people of the US are truly sorry Sweden was dragged into Trump's alternative facts. Please, know he speaks alone. Grumpy Consumers says, so Sweden wants to mock Trump while having the honor of being the rape capital of the world. Your tourism will be zero. Hashtag Sweden is lost. Of course, there were a few replies to that tweet. The music guy replied him saying, Sweden is the rape capital of the world? Just stop. Go to your room, read a book, acquire some semblance of an education. And as Hoodles 10 said, murder rates in USA 13,000 per 100,000. Murder rate in Sweden 91. Do any terrorists still go to the murder capital of the world? And Claudia tweets, week 4, Trump alienates Sweden, Australia, Canada, Mexico, Iraq, Iran, Yemen, Syria, Somalia, Israel, Palestine, blacks, women, media. Likes Putin. Now this week's trailer jam takes a jab at Nigeria's science and tech minister. To spy movies and high-tech action films, we have been exposed to an array of spy gadgets that sometimes leave us awe-stricken. I'd like to share with you some of my favorite spy gadgets in movies. The invisible car from Die Another Day.
Oh, very good.
Adaptive camouflage. Tiny cameras on all sides project the image they see onto a light
You might not
polymer
see why
screen on the
anyone
opposite
would want
side.
an
See, for the
invisible
casual
car.
eye, it's as
However,
invisible.
about 5 years ago, scientists found a way to make a real-life invisible car. They were able to make an entire car disappear using optical camouflage technology boffins to create an illusion that the car wasn't there at all. What they did was they covered the driver's side of the car in mats of LEDs and mounted a digital SLR camera on the opposite side of the vehicle. The camera shoots video on the passenger's side, and the video is displayed in real time on the driver's side of the car, making the automobile transparent. Well, except for the wheels. The rocket belt from Thunderball. Once a project heavily invested in by the US military, it was abandoned when it was deemed impractical. Now called jetpacks, they're available for sale if you don't mind spending upwards of $250,000 on one of them.
No well-dressed man should be without one.
Yes, very practical.
Climbing magnets from Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. In case you're wondering if you can use this gadget in real life, forget it. The Neuralizer from Men in Black. I don't know about you, but I can think of more than a dozen uses for this gadget.
Around the perimeter with holes at 40, 60, and 80 meters from right here. Thank you. That's good. Thank you.
What in the hell is going on?
Excellent question. And the answer you're looking for lies right here.
Who are you? Really?
Really? I am just a figment of your imagination.
The poisoned shoe knife from the movie From Russia with Love. There's just one thing I'll say. Don't try this at home.
Number one. Our rules are very simple. If you fail, 12 seconds. One day we must invent a fast.
The shoe phone from Get Smart. Excuse me, sir. I think your shoe is ringing.
Forwarding from the shoe phone to the cell phone so you don't know where I am, and then I appear on the roof behind you and surprise everyone trick.
Don't move.
The shoe phone has come a long way, starting from the TV show Get Smart as far back as the 1960s and 70s, when such technology would have been impossible. Today, though, shoe phones are not a far-fetched idea. Explosive gum from Mission Impossible. You do not want to get one of these in your mouth. Gruesome real-life examples of explosive gum include a student in Ukraine dying after his jaw was blown off, reportedly by exploding chewing gum. Apparently, he used to dip his chewing gum in citric acid, but an unfortunate mix-up with an unidentified substance caused the gum to explode in his mouth.
On the inside, you want to shake hands with the devil, that's fine with me. I just want to make sure that you do it in hell.
Now take a look at spy gadgets you can actually buy.
You may have watched James Bond and assumed all the spy gadgets that Q presents to 007 are only reserved for the likes of elite secret agents. However, in reality, there are a number of gadgets that exist today that are in fact worthy of the modern spy, yet available for anyone to buy.
Amazing!
Number 10. Fingerprint Scanner. Fingerprint scanners are synonymous with the modern world now. Since Apple started using them, the ability to scan fingerprints has become so widespread, allowing people to have an extra level of security on devices containing sensitive information. Beyond their more day-to-day use, fingerprint scanners have also been used in the making of locks. Any decent spy would definitely need one of these super secure locking devices to prevent unwanted eyes stumbling across their confidential possessions. Number 9. Spy cameras. The best spy cameras are the ones which resemble nothing like an actual camera, and there is a plethora of cameras that fit this criteria. One such example is the Camera Ring, which is paired with a tablet so that you can easily take some discrete snaps and have them uploaded onto your personal device. A similar device is the Camera Pen, which can take footage in high definition for your later viewing. There are even more subtle designs out there, including the supposed Spyfly. The ability to create these gadgets has been around for years now, and while nobody is owning up to their use, some people have suggested they're currently being used at many major events throughout the world, such as protests or political visits, as a form of covert security. Number 8. Peephole Reverser. Using a variety of mirrors, these little products are placed up to eye holes on people's front doors so you can see what the owner is doing. Usually the fodder of SWAT teams and police, the Peephole Reverser allows you to look into someone's home while stopping them from seeing you. Number 7. Taser Phone. If you've ever thought that your iPhone just doesn't do enough for you no matter how many apps you've bought, now you can purchase an iPhone jacket from Yellow Jacket that features a 650k volt electrode that can supposedly halt an aggressive adult male. Despite the obvious power this can give people, especially women who feel the need for protection, it also gives you an excuse to shock your mates while they're not looking. Number 6. Self-destructing RAM. RAM, or random access memory, is an integral part of any modern computer. While the various ways this can make data access easier isn't exactly riveting, new developments that allow for self-destructing RAM suddenly pique our interest. Using 2 layers of foil, one highly magnetized, the RAM will be destroyed if the foil is ripped. This means that if a thief tries to get at your information, they won't be able to get to it without getting through your security. What's more interesting is that this will allow criminals, and more importantly spies, the ability to keep data out of the hands of their enemies in espionage. Number 5. Document scanners. Coming in the shape of a standard pen, a document scanner allows the chance to pull full lines of writing straight from a page without having to read it at the time. While the idea doesn't sound subtle, the 64 megabyte space on the contained micro SD card allows you the chance to gather large amounts of information in a short period of time. If you're a spy attempting to grab some secret information as quickly as possible, this is the kind of thing you would use. Number 4. Electric pick gun. Often referred to as a snap gun, a lock-picking gun fires rods against the various pins within a lock to determine when and how to turn, letting you into a door without the use of a manual lockpick. Electric pick guns will allow you to get into somewhere without any real expertise and without the use of brute force. Spies will be able to get in and out without letting anyone know they've been there. Number 3. Vehicle trackers. As seen in Breaking Bad, bringing it into the public consciousness, vehicle trackers mostly use GPS these days to keep a track on someone when they're on the move. It's not that surprising to know that this takes place with the abundance of GPS technology that is available to the consumer these days, but to know that anybody could be watching where your car is traveling is very worrying. If a spy needed to keep a daily tag on you, they'd be able to see exactly where and when your car has been for however long the battery lasts. Number 2. Envelope X-ray spray. This product allows you to check how much money Granny has sent you for your birthday without opening it before your birthday, making opaque paper translucent before returning it to its previous state, leaving behind no stains or smells. That being said, it's also the perfect way to check for a letter bomb as well, so it's not just a silly product made for fun. Number 1. Jetpack. Do we even have to get into how amazing it would be to have a personal jetpack? The Martin Jetpack is a real-life version of the fictional single-person aircraft that has now been worked on for 30 years. It's believed that once it's up for sale, it will be able to fly for just under 30 minutes and reach a speed of 40 kilometers per hour, meaning that many distances will be nothing for spies who need to get somewhere quick. Imagine being chased by a man in a black suit with a giant jetpack on.
And before we go, here's our tech tip of the week.
Here is how to use your voice to control YouTube playback on Android devices. First, make sure you have OK Google turned on from any screen. From the Google app, select the menu button, Settings, and Voice. Tap OK Google detection and toggle on from any screen. When you're watching a video in the YouTube app, say OK Google to start voice controls. Then follow with commands like pause, play, or stop. OK Google, pause. Minimizing or maximizing video is also supported. OK Google, maximize. You can also tell YouTube to play on a TV, Chromecast, or console. OK Google, play on Chromecast.
And that's it on this edition of Hashtag. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to follow us. Our Twitter handle is @PTV#. Join us again next week. I am Korede Aziz.